Namaste everyone. I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic that's going to change our life. This is one simple aspect of your life. If you learn to master that, you're going to be changing your life forever. I've been practicing it, and I've actually practiced it many a times, and it really works like wonders. It's called emotional mastery. How do you master your emotions? Let me just take you to what's happening in today's education world. I mean, we all have gone to schools, and we all have learned from colleges and schools and all that. Our children go to schools. They learn a lot of things. I mean, what they learn today in schools are all available on the fingertip. On a click of a mouse, you can get all the informations which the kids of today is learning in their schools. But what they don't teach you in schools is that how to live your life. How do you feel in certain manner? What kind of feelings is happening in certain aspect? Why do you feel the way you feel in certain aspects and certain situations of a life? I mean, how do you train your mind to feel something great, and what is good feelings and what's not so good feelings, what's wrong feelings and what's the right feelings? How do you create that energy of positive feelings? Schools today don't teach us any of these things. Our kids don't learn how to live life, but they learn everything else that is today, in the ideal world today, is available on a click of a mouse. So coming to the point that I'm going to talk about the invisible energy. Everything is energy, and I keep talking about energy. You, me, and everything is energy in this universe. There's so many invisible energies that you can actually see. You can actually feel it. I mean, you know that there are so many invisible energies. Let's take, for example, gravity. I mean, gravity is an energy, and that's the only reason why you are grounded, isn't it? I mean, otherwise you would be floating around all the time. Now, this is an energy which you know it exists, but you don't know what it is. You really can't see it. It's invisible, isn't it? Similarly, there's so much of radiations happening around from the sun and the planets and moon and all that. So many radiations. Sun's radiations have happened, and people have got killed, and sunburn happened because of the radiations. We hear about all this, but radiation is an energy, but it's an invisible energy. You don't know. You haven't seen it. You can't see that radiations, right? There's so many magnetic energy, magnetic pulls that are happening in the earth, in the planet. Also, there are a lot of electromagnetic rays which are being, surrounding us through in the current world of technology. Your mobile phone has got magnetic rays and electromagnetic rays which are actually being received and emitted continuously, but you don't actually see it. Let me just switch off my B button in my laptop. That's gone. Okay, well, so you don't see these energies. Like these invisible energies, love and hate are also invisible energies. These are energies which are there in the human body, and these are the highest form of energies that we have in the human body. Now, see, people say that intellect is everything, brain is everything, intellect is everything. Actually, intellect is not everything. It is the human emotions that make things happen. It is a human emotion that make us do action. All our actions are actually propelled by the emotions that we have deep inside us. So emotions are greatest form of energy. You look at it, emotions have created wars between nations. Emotions have caused peace between two different nations, peace between two different families, peace between two different individuals. Emotions have caused murders. Emotions have caused wars. Emotions have caused terrorism. Emotions have caused love and peacefulness between two entities, two organizations, two countries, two individuals. So many things. Emotions can get you married. Emotions can get you laid. Emotions can get you children. Emotions can get you, emotions can get you get yourself into two different directions. Emotions has got the power to power of energy. That's huge. That's emotions are extremely powerful energy. Now imagine, if this is what the energy can actually do to you in your day-to-day life, what if you can master this emotion? If you can master this emotion, you can have a life that is beautifully designed for you. You can have a life that you want to live. Now this is the entire aspect of wanting a life, wanting to do a life that you really want to live, wanting to live a life that you really want to live, is essentially based on how do you master your emotions. If you can master the emotions, you can actually have a quality life. Look at this. Emotion is nothing but energy in motion. So when I said love and hate are emotions, they are invisible energies. Now, emotions make us move into action. Remember this. Emotions make us move into action. So emotion means energy in motion. Energy is actually moving into an action. That is emotion. So if emotion is energy in motion, which means where you focus your energy into, energy flows into it and action happens. So if you're focusing more into positive emotions, the energy flows into that, and that energy takes you into positive actions. This is exactly how wars are happening, how love is happening, how romance is happening, how two individuals get into peaceful agreement, how compatibility is happening. Everything is to do with emotions. That's the powerful invisible energy that is there in each one of us. Now coming to the point of how do you bring positive emotions and how do you actually kill that negative emotions inside you? If you look at it, how does emotions get formed? Emotions get formed the moment you start giving meanings into thoughts or to the things. You see something, you perceive it from your the sense organs. You perceive it from your sense organs. You watch it, you see it. Because of your certain memories which are behind you, which you have actually from your past experiences, you've collected it, you start giving meaning to what you see, right? Or what you smell, what you feel. The moment you start giving meanings, emotions happen. So meaning creates emotions, emotions creates life, meaning creates life. So every feeling that you have inside your mind, inside your human body, human mind, is coming out of the meanings that you give, to everything that you see, every thoughts that happen. That's how it is. It's like this. Let's take an example. You are faced with a challenge, a biggest challenge in life. Well, let's just take an example about relationship. Imagine you being actually faced with an exploitative spouse. Your spouse is overruling you. Your spouse is very, very negative. Your spouse keeps doubting you. Your spouse keeps putting a lot of control and rules over you, and your spouse actually curtails and stops the freedom of an individuality that you have. Now, when you are actually living with such a person, or when you just got married to somebody like this, what kind of thoughts come into your mind? The thoughts that come into your mind, that is God punishing me? Is God putting all these challenges for what? What is this challenge that God has actually put me into it? What kind of mess that the God has put me into it? Why is this happening to me? Now imagine, the thoughts that come to your mind just because you have been faced with a challenge is that, why is God punishing me? What is that I have done wrong to deserve this punishment from God? Now, the moment you have your thoughts like this, Your feelings are, the meaning that you give it to these kind of things that are happening around you, it creates certain feelings. Now, the moment you start feeling that, the meaning, the moment you put a meaning saying that God is punishing you, quite naturally, your feelings are going to be very negative, because you're going to be depressed, you're going to be tense, you're going to be stressed, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be completely denigrated in terms of energy. That's what is going to happen to you if you give meaning to the things that are happening around you. So whatever meaning that you give to the things that are happening around you, the challenges that you're facing in your life, it determines your quality of life, because it determines your quality of feelings, and that's quality of emotions. That quality of emotions determines your quality of life. Now, please understand one thing, that it's like this. I mean, when you're planting a plant in your garden, you water that plant every day. Does plant grow or weeds grow? The weeds too grow, right? Why weeds grow? Because uninvited weeds grow while you're planting a plant, while you're watering a plant. So what do you do normally? You actually need to pluck that weeds away, throw that away, so that the plant is safe and plant is growing, right? You don't let all the weeds eat up the plant. The weeds are quite natural. It just happens uninvited. Please understand one thing. If wrong thoughts, if there is a way for wrong thoughts to come in, there is always a way for right thoughts to come in as well. If the universe has given the power for wrong thoughts to enter into your mind, the universe has also given the right thoughts to come into your mind. The power of right thoughts to come into your mind. But it's very rarely that right thoughts come into your mind automatically. But what happens most of the time is that the negative thoughts, the wrong thoughts, come into your mind uninvitedly. You close your eyes and you see what's happening to you. 99% of the time, all the thoughts that are coming to your mind is negative, because you're living in an environment such that. So weeds can grow, and if you want to nurture a plant, a plant yielding a beautiful fruit or a flower, you need to remove those weeds which are around the plants. All that's unnecessary grass or XYZ that are actually growing beneath the root of the plant, that need to be thrown out. That need to be removed constantly. Now that's where you can actually master the emotion, get the mastery of the emotion, to ensure that the plant of positive thought is actually growing inside you, and with all the negative thoughts which are around the plants is actually taken out and pulled out and culled out and thrown out of that area. This is really exactly what needs to be done in a human mind. Imagine the number of negative thoughts that are coming into your mind. I mean, if you want to do an exercise, you can do an exercise right now. Take a piece of paper, write down all the positive emotions that are happening to you or have happened to you in the past, or where you have found yourself finding a lot of positive feelings in certain thoughts. It could be happiness, it could be love, it could be joy, it could be pleasantness, it could be excitement, it could be pleasure, it could be it could be blissfulness, it could be amazement, it could be at most joy and happiness and all that stuff, peacefulness. It could be all that stuff. So you can have all your positive emotions written down, joy, love, happiness, peacefulness, excitement, fun, playfulness. All these kind of positive emotions can be written down, and mark the two topmost emotions where you have always felt very high about it. Write down, just mark or circle that two topmost positive emotions that has got huge impact in your life. Okay. Now take another piece of paper and write down all the negative emotions that has been happening to you or that has happened to you and just list down all of them. It could be fear, it could be doubt, it could be anger, it could be frustration, stress, it could be, I can actually name too many of negative emotions than the positive emotions. So it could be anxiety, it could be depression, it could be resentment, it could be hatredness, it could be jealousy, it could be pride, it could be ego. You can write down all of these things and then again do the same exercise. Circle the two topmost negative emotions that has been affecting you, two topmost negative emotion that has really killed you, which kills you most of the time. Now this tells you that you have two very prominent, impactful positive emotions that you have experienced in your life and you love to experience it more and more, and then you have two negative emotions that most of the time torture you. Most of the time it's just behind you, it just chases you wherever you go, and it just kills your energy, right? You know that, okay? When you know these two things, this is itself, knowing and being aware that you are great at these two positive feelings, and what pulls you down is this two negative feelings. And once you know this, once you know that this is the positive feelings that you hold on to, and this is the negative feels that actually feel negative emotions that are actually always residing in you, once you're aware of this and once you're conscious about it, that itself is the first step in mastering positive emotions. Because your subconscious mind will automatically tell you, when you feel these two negative emotions which pulls you down, it tells you that no, you have the power to be positive, you have the power to be loving. All right, so whenever you are challenged with some negative things, whenever you're facing certain challenges, like the example that I mentioned about having an exploitative husband or a wife or a spouse, whichever spouse or whatever, if you are in such an environment, ask yourself, it's not God is punishing you. Ask yourself, what do I get out of this? What do I do? What is that I can learn out of it? What is that I can make out of it? This is a challenge which has come to you. What is that I can make out of it? Can I make myself strong by this? Can I make myself win over this? Can I make myself find happiness in my own self, and then being a hero of my own inner potential? Can I do that? Look at the way your thinking changes. The moment your thinking changes, the moment you start giving the meanings to what is happening to you in a positive manner, your positive emotions are going to emerge. Oh yes, this is happening to me. I'm being tortured. What is this torture going to give it to me? This torture is giving me more and more power to tell all the cells in my body that I'm not going to let my positive emotions go away from me. I'm not going to let my self-esteem suffer. This is going to give me more energy to focus more on my positive emotion. This is going to give me more energy to know that God is giving me this challenge for me to realize there's huge potential in me to be positive. There's so much of inner potential, infinite energy is lying inside me, and I have the power to come out of these challenges. I have the power to actually manage these challenges and let myself become extremely positive. You understand what I mean? So this just kind of tells us that we can master the invisible energy, the emotion. We all can master it. So the easiest way to do is that perhaps think for the next 10 days, any negative emotions that come to you, you're going to actually replace it with a positive emotion. All right. Now, the easiest thing that I do to myself is that whenever I am faced with a negative emotion, and that happens very often, please understand, I'm not a saint. I come across various negative emotions because, especially when you're working in a corporate working environment, take it from me, you have 90% of the time you have negative energies around you. Very rarely you can actually get. It's very rare that positive energy happens, and especially when times are bad, when you can experience negative energy all around you, negative emotions all around you. So how do you actually master your emotion is essentially by replacing every negative thought with a positive thought, that I am powerful, I am loving, I'm a magnet of love and abundance, I'm a magnet of power, I'm a magnet of positivity. I invite a lot of positivity into me. I am very peaceful. These are the statements that you can actually tell. And then there's one more thing which I used to do, is that every time when I get irritated, when I get angry, when I feel that hatred, it happens. I'm conscious about telling to myself that I am under the grace. May I be under the grace. May I be under the grace. May I be under the grace. 3 times if I say this, may I be under the grace, I mean that I'm actually surrendering myself to the grace of the universe. May I be guided by the grace. May I be guided by the grace. May I be under the grace. Automatically, these weeds of the negative emotions, it just subsides. It just subsides. It just subsides. If you do it 10 days continuously, you will become a master of it. So please understand, and I conclude this video by saying that mastering the emotion, mastering the life. You master your emotion, you master your life. You master your meaning, you master your emotions, you master your life. Simple thing to learn is, remember, is meanings that you give it to your thoughts and things around determine the quality of your life. So challenges happen to your life. What is the meaning that you're giving into the challenges? Change the meaning that you give it to the challenges around you, you change the emotions. You change the emotions, you change the life. So get mastery over emotions, and I'm sure all of you would practice this one, and I hope this video is useful to some of you people. And if you like this video, please comment below. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. InspireBee, my humble channel, is always there to help and support people to transform human lives. That's the objective of InspireBee. Thank you very much for watching and having the patience to go through the entire video. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.